Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wrestling Talk.
Martez, how you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to hear your voice.
Same here. Welcome to Wrestling Tracks. Ladies and gentlemen, Martez is here. He has a show as well right here on blogtalk.com. And tell him about it.
Well, I have a show called Wrestle Talk in the D on blogtalkradio.com, but my station is called Open Talk Radio 313 The Flash, and I do a number of things on that station, which is I talk about God, I talk about life, and then, of course, I talk about wrestling. And that's why I'm here on your show tonight. And once again, I have a show called Wrestle Talk in the D, and we just talk about the latest topics in the world of wrestling. We try to keep it real. We try to keep it honest, and that's pretty much it, man. I enjoy having the platform to be able to talk wrestling. So, yeah, man, that's what I do.
Well, you can't go wrong with God life and wrestling, right? Man,
you know,
we
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, and I agree with you, man. Before wrestling, before anything else, is God. You know, it's God first. Definitely. And I always thank God for the ability to even talk about wrestling, because I realize sometimes I can't speak for you, but some of us, we take things for granted. You know, we think we're doing it on our own, or we forget about the Lord and this and that. And I'm not trying to forget about the Lord, especially during this time of the world. But I know it's all about the grace of God that I'm able to talk wrestling, and I'm able to be on this show too.
Appreciate, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to WrestleMania 35. But before we get there, just a few pit stops. We have the Elimination Chamber coming up, and we have Fastlane. Get to the Chamber first. Two individuals specifically have sweet golden tickets. One is Becky Lynch, one is Seth Rollins. Problem, though, Martez, Becky Lynch, everybody knows it. Everybody in the world knows it by now. She has an injured knee. I believe her left knee. Right. So the problem with that, Stephanie said, look, congratulations, but you become a liability now, you know. So
right.
See a doctor, we can't clear you.
You out of here. Yeah, man. I don't want to overstep you when you're talking, but yeah, that's like Monday night. That was an interesting segment right there, you know. But I saw that coming, you know. Yep. And like, can Becky Lynch get over even more than what she already is? Like she's so over right now. It's amazing. And and my biggest fear about Becky Lynch is that they go insert Charlotte into that WrestleMania match. I don't think she's really injured. I think that's a storyline type of a deal. But like my biggest gripe is that they're going to insert Charlotte into that match, which I don't want to see. But where else are you going to put Charlotte? Who else are you going to put Charlotte against at WrestleMania? So we'll see what happens. But Becky Lynch, that's my girl, number one.
Speaking of Charlotte, happy birthday, man, to one very special individual. If you don't know him by now, you kind of late classes in session if you don't know him. He's one of the original first 16-time, I believe that's grammatically correct, the original first 16-time world champion. I really don't need to go into the resume, but that's one of the highlights of his resume. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Woo! Woo! I mean, what more can you say about Ric Flair? You know, Ric Flair, he is wrestling. You know, and it's gonna be a sad day when I hate to say this, it's gonna be a sad day when Ric Flair is gone, because there's not a lot of Ric Flairs at all in the wrestling industry. Like Ric Flair, he was one of the greatest on the mic. He was a savant at cutting promos. He was sensational as a wrestler, you know, and there's no one like Ric Flair, and there will never be no one like Ric Flair. You know, even The Rock, I put The Rock a step under Ric Flair, and The Rock can go toe-to-toe with anyone as far as promos, but I put him just a notch below Ric Flair's.
Yes, sir. Well, as far as imitation goes, there's only one person who can stand toe to toe as far as imitating, and that is oh Lord, I forgot his name. He used to be what was then called TNA, Jay Lethal. Now, as far as imitating, that's the only person I can think of that can even come close to the Nature Boy.
Oh yeah, Jay Lethal. He did a good job in TNA. Jay Lethal was the man at imitations. So yeah, I certainly agree with you with that assessment of Ric Flair imitations, because I enjoyed Jay Lethal's imitation of Macho Man, which was spot on. You know. But yeah, man, Jay Lethal is that guy when it comes to imitating folks.
Yes, he is, man. So let's get to it. As the chamber is going to be, let's pull my cheat sheet up here. Nia Jax and Tamina, the Riot Squads, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan versus Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville versus the Iconics versus Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Naomi and Carmella. They will put them all in the chamber in pods, and we're gonna battle it out. The winner, for the first time since the 80s, will be the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a big deal. You know, before I give you my predictions on that particular match, you know, it's like the women have taken it to another level in the whole wrestling industry. You know, and the women are kicking butt in the whole wrestling industry. You know, I'm not big on women versus men. I'm not big on this gender versus gender stuff, but I'm gonna keep it real where I need to keep it real. Like the women, they are delivering great matches each and every time they go out there. You know, I'm always glued to these female matches because they deliver. They hit home runs. But in terms of this Elimination Chamber match, you know, I'm going with this might sound like the obvious pick, but I'm going with Sasha Banks and then Bayley. I think they have the tag team titles written all over their name. Now, with Sasha Banks possibly leaving WWE could be petty and not give them the tag team titles, but I don't think they will be petty like that. But again, Sasha Banks and Becky, they're my pick to win the titles. But my sleeper pick is Deville and Mandy Rose, because I think Sonya Deville is special. I think she doesn't get talked about enough. And heck, I would love to see Sonya Deville be inserted into a match against Asuka at the WrestleMania. But that's my sleeper pick right there, Deville and Mandy Rose in that Elimination Chamber match.
Yes, sir. By the way, I was saying something it came to mind, but it went away, so it'll come back later. Oh yeah, you talk about you are big on being in women wrestling. There's an old saying that, if you don't know, it's an old saying that says you don't see a woman do a man's job. That is bull. So let me tell you something. Yeah. Nowadays, women are kicking butt in this business.
They are, bro. They are, you know, and you can't say they're not, you know. And I went on record a few months ago after the Evolution pay-per-view. I went on record and said that was the best pay-per-view I've seen all year. I don't know if it's because the women are more hungrier than the guys right now, or the women have much more to prove than the guys right now. But that was the best pay-per-view still to this day that I've seen this whole year. And the women, their main event matches, they're kicking off Raw and SmackDown. Like they're stealing all the headlines outside of wrestling. So yeah, the women are kicking butt, and I'll give them big props. You know, I love me some Ronda Rousey. I love me some Sasha, some Becky. You know, Charlotte. What more can you say about Charlotte? And then my girl Becky Lynch. You know, once in a generational sports entertainer. And Becky Lynch, she has took it to a whole nother level. And as I talk to you about Lynch, you know, I get chills talking about her, because that's greatness. You know, that's what WWE needs. Somebody like her that we don't see often. You know, I think about Austin. I think about CM Punk. And I put her in those categories, in that category of Austin, CM Punk, people that portrayed an authentic and a real character. So Becky Lynch, she's definitely at the front of this whole women's takeover.
Yes, sir. We got to take a very, very, very quick break. Come back. I'll give you the rest of the card. By the way, this is brought to you by, I forgot who was brought to you by. Samuel, the beer company, Cavaco.
At Sam Adams, we salute those people who did that thing. Built that thing, tried that thing, messed that thing up, then tried it again. For all the people who believe in going for it, failing, improving, who do their thing the same way we do ours. Because life isn't about whether your glass is half full or half empty. It's about filling it up. Sam Adams, fill your glass.
There you go, Sam Adams. There it is. It's all good. Nonetheless,
yes, sir.
So, the chamber. Check this out. The rest of the card here. We get Captain Planet. Oh, my bad. Daniel Bryan. He would defend that horrible, ugly-looking champion. It's oogly. It's not even ugly. It's oogly. It is oogly, man.
It is.
Is he smoking something when he made that belt? Lord, if you're not seen it, look it up. The W Championship 2019, look it up. It is oogly. Anyway, Captain Planet would face AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe inside the chamber. So here's how it's going to work. We got 6 guys in the pie, right? So every scheduled intervals, we'll release some guys. First 2 started off. The other guys waiting in the pies. So it could go from 1-on-1, the handicap, triple threat, fatal 4-way, a full-out brawl.
Absolutely. Hey, it's going down in the Elimination Chamber. But, yeah, I'm gonna have to say Daniel Bryan is going to pull this off. I don't see them giving the title back to AJ Styles anytime too soon. Samoa Joe, he's going to continue to be buried. Mustafa Ali, it's too early for him to get it. Randy Orton, he doesn't need it. And Jeff Hardy's in it too, right? He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it either. So Daniel Bryan's going to come out with the win. He's going to go on to be a part of WrestleMania and defend that oogly title, as you call it. But this match isn't it isn't appealing to me. So hopefully by the time that match come about, I'll be more excited to see it. But right now, I feel like I already know the outcome, and Daniel Bryan is going to win.
It's interesting. I don't see no kickoff matches. That's good. Buddy Murphy would defend the Cruiserweight Championship against Akira Tozawa.
Well, you might kick me off your show with this answer, but I'm not a 205 Live guy. I don't watch it too much, but I have seen a lot of Buddy Murphy on the pay-per-views. And I'm going to go with Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy, he's big time. He's another special athlete. He's athletic. He's an excellent in-ring storyteller. And Hiroshi, I hope I'm saying his name right. Hiroshi, he's nothing to sneeze at either. But Buddy Murphy is my pick to win that match.
Yes, sir. And of course, Shane McMahon and The Miz, interesting combination there, versus the Usos.
Ooh.
Now here's the thing right there. Shane McMahon won't be able to defend it weekly like The Miz will, because Shane McMahon is also a corporate officer, so he'll be fresh a little bit.
Right. Now, for me in this matchup, it's so many twists and turns that can happen for me in this matchup. Number one, I'm happy that the Usos are back in the tag team title picture. The Usos are the class of a tag team division in the whole industry, if you leave it unto me to say it. It's not the Young Bucks, it's not the Bar, but it's the Usos. The Usos are super over, and they're doing a heck of a job. over the last 2 years of building their brand, mainly with the Uso Penitentiary. But I don't want to get too far off talking about the Usos. I'm going to stick with this matchup, and I think the Usos win. I think the Usos pull a win off because I think there's going to be a swerve in this particular matchup. I think there's going to be a heel turn that many might not see coming. But I'm more on the side of Shane McMahon turning against The Miz to set up a WrestleMania matchup with The Miz, because right now I don't see anyone that The Miz will be facing at WrestleMania. There's nobody out there that I can see him knuckling up with. So I'm going to say it's going to be a heel turn. The Miz can turn on Shane, but I'm going to lean more towards Shane turning on The Miz.
Interesting right there.
Yeah, that's my feeling, man. Cause I don't see them being a tag team too long. It just don't seem right to me to keep them as a tag team. I think this is just an experiment to set up a heel turn, and I think we need a Shane McMahon heel turn. We haven't seen one since about 07, 09, something like that.
Well, try 06, but yeah.
06, okay. I'll go with 06 then.
This part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, I give you some really, I ran a little bit. Y'all, pardon me, for all you new folks, I mean new school wrestler fans. I'm thinking back in the day right quick. Back in the day, as in 2006 style. So I got Shane McMahon on my mind. There was a storyline. Like, I love professional wrestling, but there's some stuff I can't agree with, you know? So, Martez, I'll tell you back in the day. So, remember when they did, here's what's supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Vince McMahon lost his mind in the storyline-wise and all these ridiculous matches, right?
Right.
So, one of the matches was Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon versus Shawn Michaels and the Almighty himself, the Lord. A lot of people had backlash on that, and I understand completely. Now, if it helps at all, it probably makes it worse. Vince McMahon is Roman Catholic, if that's any better.
Well,
it probably makes it worse, but yeah.
It probably, yeah.
Vince McMahon, that's what I love about WWE, because I'll tell you, you're free to express your faith. I know a lot of wrestlers who are believers in God, and that's awesome. It's not easy to do in this kind of business. Ain't nothing godly at all about wrestling.
It's not, bro. It's not at all.
It's really hard to be a believer in this kind of business.
Okay, I 100% agree. You know, sometimes even though I get caught up in this whole wrestling stratosphere, you know, sometimes I have to pause and realize, like, oh, this stuff isn't righteous. You know, this stuff isn't of God. You know, so but I realize at least like the Bible says, like I believe we are in the world, but we're not of the world. So
right.
I won't let wrestling consume my soul or take my spirit, if you will. But I will let it entertain me, because I won't digest it to the point where it will make me, no disrespect to anybody, but make me obese. You know what I mean? I consume it. I consume it in moderation. I'm a big boy. I'm just using the metaphor, but I consume wrestling in moderation, because if you're not careful, you'll get caught up. You know, you'll get caught up.
Man, by the way, there was this lady. I'm sorry, there was a lady who emailed me a long time ago. When I started, she happened to call the little sample of it, and she's like, "How you gonna be a Christian? You like wrestling?" I'm like, "Well, lady, if you read your Bible, technically, I do mean technically, if you read your Bible, wrestling's in the Bible. It's the oldest sport. And they had wrestling in the Roman era, by the way.
Right.
So you can thank the Romans, the Egyptians, and the Greeks, because without them, the art of wrestling wouldn't even exist. So if you read your Bible, lady, wrestling's in the Bible.
Exactly.
I
It's nothing but
like, for example, you got Jacob and God himself. In fact, the title of the story is Jacob Wrestles with God. That's the title of the story, first, by the way. Then you got Leah and Rachel over who gets to sleep with Jacob. You got David and Goliath, for God's sake.
Yep.
Just saying.
Hey, you telling the truth, man. You know, but that goes back to that thing, like people not reading all the way. People not reading everything. They only reading what they want to read. You know, and most believers do that stuff. You know, they only believe what they only read what they want to read. Like the Bible says, study to show yourself approved, or a workman unto God. You know, needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So you have to study, so you'll know what you're talking about. You know, and like there's certain things in wrestling that you can make it into it's certain like for example, Becky Lynch, you know, and I said this a few weeks on my show. Like Becky Lynch, she might curse, she might be egotistical, she might be a bad mamma jamma, if you will, but Becky Lynch has blessed me, and I said this on my show because the confidence that she has when she come out to the ring is second to none. The way she keeps her head up, like yes, I am confident in myself. Like you, as a Christian, you can take little things like that and use it in a godly sense, you know. But that's just me. I've learned to do that. I learned to take a bad situation or maybe a negative situation and spin it spin it in a righteous direction, you know. Now I'm not about to be going to no club and then preaching on Sunday morning. Now that's going too far. That's just to keep it real. I'm not going to be doing that. But a little wrestling is not going to hurt you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
By the way, this brother here is in Detroit. By the way, the hometown of one big sexy Kevin Nash.
Oh yeah.
So you ever run into Kevin? Somebody say what's up?
I sure will. I got him on speed dial, man. I got you. He just don't answer my phone calls, man, when I call him, man. What's up with that?
Wouldn't it be cool? I'm on such Kevin Nash. Wouldn't it be cool if all three members, the original three members of NWO's in the Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah, it would be cool, you know, and it would be cool, and it's amazing that they're not already. Such a historical group, the NWO was wrestling. It is wrestling. Like the NWO, it changed the whole landscape of wrestling. Before WWE took the ratings back, the NWO was the start, and a lot of people don't talk too much about that. Yes, the NWO is still celebrated. I still think they're the best faction in wrestling history, but like WWE wouldn't have had to take the ratings from WCW if it wasn't for the NWO, and big props to them, to those guys, because still to this day, we still talk about the NWO and we still miss the NWO because they were cool, you know, and the Bullet Club doesn't have anything on the NWO, in my opinion.
I was in tears, man. I have my classic NWO shirt, right? So I go put it on, and I was in tears because there's a freaking holes in it, and I can't find it. I can barely find NWO stuff that I can get for under $20. By the way, we talk about the Hall of Fame and everything. We're gonna have Ric Flair, as we said last night in the show. Ric Flair will no longer be a two-time Hall of Famer because Bret Hart, the late Jimmy Anvil Neidhart, and Hall of Famer Jimmy's Mouth of the South Hart, no relation there, will be in the Hall of Fame very soon.
Correct.
That makes
I apologize. I was speaking ahead of you.
That makes Bret, Jim, also two-time Hall of Famers. No, my bad. Yeah, Jimmy Hart, my bad. Jimmy Hart, Bret Hart, no relation there. Two-time Hall of Famers joining the Nature Boy.
Yeah, Yeah, man, I'm happy to see that. I think it's long overdue. And speaking of underrated groups, I think the Hart Foundation fall into that category of being underrated. And maybe it's because of the fallout that Bret Hart had with WWE, or maybe sometimes people look at Bret Hart in a negative light, But I think the Hart Foundation, they did a lot for professional wrestling during the 90s and even in the late 90s. And then I definitely think they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And this is going to set up to be a great Hall of Fame this year. So I can't wait to watch it.
I would love it if Paul Heyman really soon joined the Hall of Fame. There is definitely a spot at some point for Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah, Paul Heyman. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, And I didn't really start appreciating Paul Heyman until this last go around with the Beast. When he linked back up with the Beast a few years ago, Paul Heyman really showed me that he's the man, And Paul Heyman, he can carry a show. I didn't realize Paul Heyman was that phenomenal in cutting promos. Like, I think Paul Heyman cemented his legacy these last 5 or 6 years. Yes, he was over ECW. Yes, he's done commentating with WWE. He's done a lot of other things in the industry. But I think these last 5 or 6 years, being the advocate for the Beast, and even with CM Punk for that matter, Paul Heyman, he cemented his legacy. Paul Heyman, he's not like some. And I wouldn't call Paul Heyman older guy, but he's been in the business a long time, but he's not stale, okay? He's still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
People still talk about Paul Heyman as the best manager in all of sports, the best talker in all of professional wrestling, excuse me. Yeah, so yeah, Paul Heyman, he deserves that nod to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir, man. Wait a minute, hold up. You say you just noticed Paul Heyman's talent, bro? Did you not see back in 2001 Paul Heyman go off on Vince the night before the 3 days before Survivor Series?
No, I don't. I know him and Vince had a lot of run-ins back then, but I don't recall that particular time. I got to go back and watch that, so I wouldn't.
I think we have it. Hang on a second here. Pull it up here. I believe we have it. We got 31 minutes left. I believe we have time to play that. Let's see here.
I'm woke up now, so we can talk all night, man. So.
Hang on a second here. Let me see what we got.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to talk because Paul Heyman, that's my guy, and it may be because it's like a lot of the wrestlers or whoever, I guess because the talent is not that superior right now as far as promo cutters. Paul Heyman looks a lot better, because it's such a I don't want to dog anybody out, but like people can't cut promos that well anymore, like a Paul Heyman can.
I believe we have it. All right, here we go. It's about 9 minutes. I'll play half of this. You can watch the rest on the WWE Network. It takes place, by the way, November 15th, 2001. So let's take a look at it right quick. I watched a little bit of it. Rewind here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'm going to play half of it. 9 minutes. I'll play half of it.
For sure.
The Survivor Series, it means so much more than just the personalities that are involved. It's about ending what Vince McMahon has tried to accomplish. I sat there at that desk on Monday, and I listened to Mick Foley. And I agreed with everything that Mick Foley had to say, that the WWE truly does suck.
I'm going to skip ahead only the sake of time.
I want you to know that I was down on my knees because I know that you used to make kissing your ass, Vinny. you walk in the back there, there's Patterson and Briscoe. Oh, what a great idea you had there. You like me kissing your ass, don't you, Vince? Huh? Because that's what you're all about. A billionaire. The billionaire. Vince McMahon. The creator of sports entertainment. I've waited so long to see you face to face like this. And I've waited so long to tell you to your face that I hate your stinking guts. But it's not just me. It's your children that hate your stinking guts, Vince. And at Survivor Series, your children are going to do to you what I have in my whole life to see somebody do to you, Vince. You are. So help me God, the most disgusting I've ever seen in my life. You took Hogan's blood and you built. You did that, and you know it's a son of a. You stole Shawn Michaels' smile, took your company public, and made yourself a billionaire. But not a self-made billionaire like you like to tell everybody you are. Oh, no. See, you're a billionaire of other people's hard work. Your father, Vince McMahon. Your father went around the country and said, of every.
All right. We'll play the whole thing. I should do that earlier. But you can watch the rest of it in its entirety on the WWF, November 15th, 2001, a couple of days before Survivor Series. Enjoy. You can watch the whole thing then. We don't have much time to play the whole thing. But that was basically, I'll tell you a backstory about that. Paul Heyman joined Shane and Stephanie to create the alliance, right?
Right.
So Vince said, you know what? I'm sick of this. Storyline-wise, I'm sick of this. What we're going to do, we're going to put it all on the table. Survivor Series. Winner takes all. You get all the money. You get all the glory. You get all the booty. You get it all. Loser leaves with none. You don't get Nathan. They said, fine, let's do it. Oh, by the way, the losing company goes out of business forever. Forever? Forever. Ain't no coming back. You're done. Well, in the end, old faithful WWE was victorious. And, of course, ECW came back a little bit later. WCW stayed buried. And to this day, some WCW folks are a little bitter.
Yeah. I mean, they got good reason to be bitter. Like WCW, it's still for me one of the more sadder. First of all, that Paul Heyman promo was sensational, and I'm glad you played that. Paul Heyman, he was killing it back then, and he's killing it right now. So Paul Heyman is a legit boss, like Sasha Banks. But WCW, they it makes sense why they still bitter. Number one, because they're not alive anymore. Number one. Number two, they're watching their competitors still flourish, still grow in WWE. You know, that got to be a sad sight to see your competitors still moving along years down the road. You know, and another reason why it's sad that WCW is not around anymore, because WCW at its highest was a good product. You know, and I always feel like, wow, what if they were still around? You know, because I sometimes I miss WCW. And a lot of times Vince McMahon, he hired WCW talent only to make fools out of them, only to bury them. And McMahon can be very conniving. He can be very evil, you know, about the stuff that he does. And I'm just being honest, you know.
Man, I tell you, like WCW had money. They had everything financially, but WWE had substance. In the end, substance won.
Correct.
I bet there's superstars right now kicking themselves in the tail. Like, why didn't I stay with Vince? I had to go over to Ted Turner. Ted Turner put out the checkbook, And man, my dreams come true. But in the end, I'm sitting here wishing, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I wish I would stay with Vince.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just saying, these Vince over here laying looking honey, if you will, and former WCW superstars, that the majority of them who are still alive today, are kicking themselves in the tail, regretting big time they should have stayed with Vince.
Yep. They did. Exactly. I agree with you, man. They are, man. I can't think of one right now, but I can only imagine. Like, gosh, why did I leave WWE? You know, and that goes to show that you know, say what you want about WWE, but they know how to handle adversity. Look at TNA. TNA decided to go up against WWE in I'm even say, what year was that? It had to be around 06, 07, something like that. You know,
it was like mid 08.
Okay. See, thanks. Yeah, thanks for the correction. I think it probably was around mid 08, and they thought they were poised to take out WWE because they took all of most of WWE hottest talent, in Kurt Angle, Hogan, Booker T, the Hardy Boys, to name a few, Christian, and they decided to go up against WWE on Monday nights, and then after that it was all she wrote. WWE destroyed TNA. You know, and WWE for me wasn't even that good during that time, but they were good enough to end TNA. But of course TNA is still around, but like they made a bad decision by trying to take on Big Brother.
Oh, definitely. Like when Ted Turner did it, it was ballsy. Nobody ever 20 years ago ever thought of going head to head with another company live. You know,
exactly.
And Ted Turner took a huge gamble. Like, I'm gonna compete against Vince. You know what? He's taping. I'm gonna do live. Blah blah blah. So what TNA does it 20 years later is kind of ridiculous. I mean, this is the top dog in this business. You ain't gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
It was hanging by a thread when they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I totally agree with you. Like TNA, they had nice shiny cars, but their cars weren't fast enough to run with WWE. You know, number one, you wrestling in no disrespect to TNA because they should have stayed in their lane. Like you wrestling in Universal Studios, you know, most of the time. Like that's a difference with WWE. Like you don't have that reach that WWE has. And number two, like your writing, the writing wasn't good enough to go up against WWE. And WWE, just like with AEW, like they're ready. They were ready, but when TNA decided to go up against them, they already knew what to do. Okay, they already had the blueprint. They said we're not going to let this happen to us again. And we're not going to let somebody creep up on us and take us out again. So WWE, they're smart. You know, I don't always agree with their creative decisions, but they're smart. They know what they're doing. They've been around for a long time.
We got 19 minutes left. I'll tell you this right quick. You said that. See, Vince McMahon, he can pick up the phone, call Madison Square Garden. Hey, I want Madison Square Garden by Monday night. No problem. Click. If whoever runs Impact Wrestling, formerly TNA, I want Madison Square Garden. Boy, please. They would be laughed at. I'm telling you right now, whoever owns Impact Wrestling, here's the difference. Vince McMahon, like I said, he can pick up the phone, call Madison Square Garden. I want that building by Monday night. No problem, Vince. We got you. Whoever owns Impact Wrestling, I want Madison Square Garden Monday night. Who is this? Man, please, get out of here. He'll be laughed at.
You telling the truth, Lee. You telling the truth, man. Yeah. No. They won't. They're not gonna take them serious, you know. TNA, they wrestling in high school gymnasiums, man. You know, that's how crazy it is. But the smart thing that TNA is trying to do is link up with AEW. So I think that's a smart move on their part by linking up with AEW.
I keep an eye on them too. By the way, I've got news here. It is legit, I believe. Omega, what's Kenny Omega? There you go. He has signed with AEW, and while he was doing that, Chris Jericho showed up.
Right.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, very interesting. You know, number one, I like everything that AEW is doing on the promotion angle. They got big time superstars. They're promoting the heck out of this. They have our attention. We're taking them serious, and they're not. They're moving fast, but they're moving slow. You know, and to be able to see Jericho and Omega go face to face today, you know, they're letting us know, hey, we're going to continue this feud on AEW. So stay tuned. So I'm enjoying it, you know, and I'm finally glad that we finally know the decision of Kenny Omega, which I already thought he wasn't going to sign with WWE, but it's nice to know officially that he's going to hang on with his boys and stick with AEW, All Elite Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something I forgot. That's how you know you're getting older. You got what you're gonna say.
It's all right. Like I had that problem a lot, man. Especially when you're doing live radio, it's tough. You know, you have to be able to tell a story to the people that's listening, and that you're controlling so much. I don't know if you're by yourself, but it's tough when you do it by yourself. You're controlling buttons. You gotta know when to take a break. You know, you gotta remember the questions that you might want to ask me or ask whoever. So I respect you, man. I respect what you're doing, and it happens. You forget things. A lot of times on my show, I might forget something, but I try to come up with a question out of nowhere, you know, that I didn't have planned. So yeah, I forget a lot too.
There you go. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Valentine's Day is coming up soon. We got some cool, some sweet products, man. Teespring.com/stores/wrestling, the _ tracks, 20% off. Use the code HARTLOVE, HARTLUV19, 20% off. We got t-shirts, we got mugs, we got towels. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you need towels, right? You need mugs, right? You gotta wear something. You got boom, t-shirt, sleep in that, boom, there you go. We got some for everybody. Teespring.com/stores/wrestling tracks. We'll continue our X Week series. All that is, you got beef with your ex. You got problems in your current relationship. You want to air it off your chest. All you got to do, call in 347-850-1368 or write us at wrestlingtracks@gmail.com. We'll talk about it. Brought to you by Hooters. Bring a picture of your ex, shred the sucker, get free wings.
Ooh. Man, you winning over there, man. You're doing a lot, man.
By the way, that Hooter picture thing, if you do that, please, ladies and gentlemen, it is a family establishment, so let's have a decent picture of your ex, ladies and gentlemen, you too, especially ladies. You know, no special stuff. You bring a picture of your ex, make sure it's an appropriate picture, wearing clothes, ladies and gentlemen, and you get free wings if you shred it. You got to be willing to shred it to get free wings.
Sweet. You can't go wrong with wings, man. You can't.
I'm getting one right now. There's a lady named Latoya from Jacksonville, Florida. Now, this is a problem I have with this one. She says her man is a wrestling fan, and she wrote this kind of in spite a little bit because she was mad at something that happened, not coincidentally, but she happened to write this. She was mad, and you know how you do stuff in the moment. So she said, "My man is a John Cena fan. And I can't stand him." And she goes on to say she's not a wrestling fan herself, so I can't really do much for you, lady, because you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and work this out for you. John Cena I professionally can't stand you. He's a great person in real life. I just can't stand you professionally. And I'll tell you why. Because 20 years since 2002. I believe that adds to the 20 years. My math is horrible. He's been kissing Missy Mann's rear end for all these years. So I don't see how her disdain for John Cena helps her relationship, but I'm glad she brought that up. But yeah.
I couldn't stand John Cena for the longest. I was a fan of the Doctor of Thugonomics, but once they scratched that gimmick, he lost all credibility with me because, I didn't understand why he could never be beaten. He always defeated every challenger that came his way. It wasn't like he was a Goldberg where it made sense that he won. It didn't make sense that John Cena would beat an Edge on a regular basis, would beat Randy Orton on a regular basis. Would beat who else? Other cats I can't think of right now. But John Cena, they gave him the strap for a minute, for a good 15 years, and I never could understand it. And I didn't like John Cena. Now that I'm getting older, and now that he has stepped away over the last 2 years, I respect everything that John Cena stands for, character-wise, like the hustle, loyalty, respect. I did that. Now that I'm older, I appreciate those words, and I appreciate the fact that he did stick and stay for a long time. You can tell that he still has a fondness for the business. He knows where he came from. But I'm right there with you. Like John Cena, he during that period, 2007 and 2015, I didn't care for John Cena, and I was happy when Brock Lesnar took him to Suplex City a number of times.
We got 11 minutes left. I'm gonna end it with this. I have another one here. My man's little brother. This is from Jamie of New York. My man's little brother keeps hitting on me. What do I do? Well, I'm going to keep it real with you. I have a godbrother in Florida now, and he dated the most lovely young ladies his exes. I was a jealous young man. His exes were fine. But the one rule he had was my godbrother's off limits. So, if your man's little brother can hit on you, tell him just keep it straight with him. He has no chance in hell. That's his brother's girl, for God's sake. Ain't nothing. It's like you going next door.
Right.
Even if he did have a chance, it's like going next door.
Hey, I agree with you. That's kind of scandalous on the little brother part to try to clap at his girlfriend. That's messed up, man. But don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. That's gonna start a lot of drama. Unnecessary drama.
And the family reunion is gonna be really awkward, like for real, like really, really awkward.
It is, man. That's something that you can. I'm all about forgiveness and whatever. That's something you can't return to. You can't return. Like it would never be the same. If my little brother or if I decided to step out, or have a relationship with his girlfriend, or he did it to me, it would never be the same. Mm-hmm. So don't do it.
Yes, indeed, man. Like I said a second ago, that's like, let's say she broke up with her brother and then dated the little brother. All you did was go next door.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Like if she broke up and dated the younger brother, all she really did, if she did that, was go next door.
Oh yeah, I like that analogy. That's true. You didn't do nothing great. You didn't do nothing too crazy. You just did something basic. So I get it. Oh man.
Y'all keep sending in WrestlingTracks@gmail.com. We'll air on the show. If we have at some point in the show, we'll air it on the show. By the way, I want to keep this straight right now. This is not going to replace wrestling. This sure, I do not want this turn again to Dr. Phil, Jerry Springer. For God's sake, this ain't Murray. So let's keep the drama out of it. When you write this stuff down, be calm about it. Don't put all your business in the street. I don't need all your business. All I want is the problem. That's all I want. It's the problem. I don't need your business. Just write down the problem, and we'll talk about that.
So they gonna have you involved in the drama in a minute, huh? They gonna say, "Well, he told me to do this."
I should have made this clear from day one. Like when y'all write in, we don't need your whole business. Just write the problem. How can we help you? Advice we can give you. That's it. Whatever happens in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your kitchen, in your car, that's on y'all.
Say that ain't none of your business, huh? They want you all in their refrigerator, man. They want you to drink their Kool-Aid, eat their sandwiches, all that stuff, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta get out of here. Martez, tell them where they can find you at.
Well, you can find me on blogtalkradio.com. Search Open Talk Radio 313 The Flash. Again, search Open Talk Radio 313 The Flash. You can also find me on a few pages on Facebook at Martez Ale, Martezale, Martez Ale. Or I have a few other pages, Tag Team Relief, which is my outreach organization. You can find that on Facebook. And then you have Detroit Wrestling Connection. You can find me on there on Facebook, which is my wrestling viewing party company. So, yeah, that's where you can find me. And then I'm a simple guy, regular guy, low maintenance, but enjoy talking wrestling.
Yes, sir. By the way, it's right here on blogtalkradio.com as well, so just flip on over and check him out. I believe you should be able to, your show, you should be able to call in, because all blogtalkradio.com shows have numbers you can call in. So if they can't, what's the number for them to call in?
Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. The number is 646-668-8672, 646-668-8672. I do a weekly show Wednesday nights and Thursday nights on blogtalkradio.com at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and I do a few other shows on the network. But really, my baby is Wrestle Talk in the D, Wednesday and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, indeed. Me and Martez here had a nice sleeping out. Tell you what, because he had a guest that confused my show with his, thinking the D was Dallas. Because a lot of people call it Dallas the D sometimes, and it's really Detroit. That's what confusion came in.
Oh, so, yeah. I was wondering what was up with that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So his is Wrestle Talk in the D, as in Detroit. I'm wrestling tracks here in Dallas, Texas. So there you go right there. No more confusion.
No more confusion. So you pretty excited about bringing Timmy on, huh? or what?
Oh, man. It should be very... I've seen this post on Facebook. I'm looking at it. He's very interesting.
Yeah. Hey, bro, that's what I'm missing. I have no other words to say but interesting. I've been telling that to other people. And let me tell you something. I don't know how your ratings is. I don't know how your views are. But I think when he comes on both of our shows, he's going to provide us with the highest numbers ever, for real. Just because he's so interesting. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it, Jim. They're going to kick us off in just a second. But thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time right here at Wrestle Tracks. Thank you, Martez, for joining us. Good night, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
See you.